Hello dear, good day to you all. I hope that everyone is doing fine. Respected ma'am and all the participants, the purpose of this video is to record a short presentation on the topic what are the new approaches for curriculum transition at the secondary level and its explanation. I thank the institution for this opportunity and Nizam ma'am for his help and guidance. So beginning our presentation, let us have an introduction of curriculum. Curriculum has been derived from Latin verb currere, which means to run or to proceed. And what is curriculum? C.V. Good in his Dictionary of Education defined curriculum as a systematic group of courses or sequence of subjects required for certification in a major field of study. And so most likely, curriculum is the heart of any learning enterprise. So before going to the main topic, recalling curriculum transition, which is effective planning for providing learning experiences for its learners, organization of planning, administration implementation of the organized planning, and evaluation of the implementations by the implementer and the experts in the relevant field. So what is approach? That is, what is curriculum approach? It is a way of dealing with curriculum, a way of doing it, a way of creating, a way of designing, and a way of thinking about the curriculum. So now what are the new approaches for curriculum transition at the secondary level? Though the idea of curriculum is quite old, over the years through which curriculum evolved thinkers and experts, they have adopted the following 4 ways of approaching curriculum theory and practice. They are curriculum as a body of knowledge to be transmitted, and secondly, curriculum as an attempt to achieve certain ends in students' product. Thirdly, curriculum as process, and lastly, that is the fourth, curriculum as praxis. So moving on to the first approach, which is curriculum as a body of knowledge to be transmitted. According to this approach, curriculum is viewed as a first body of knowledge, second content of course, or lastly a collection of various curricular subjects. So education from this point of view is the process of transmitting these courses or knowledge in the best possible manner or using the most effective methods. Second, curriculum is an attempt to achieve certain ends in students' product. That is, curriculum as product. This approach views curriculum as a means of productive enterprises, methodological task involving setting of objectives, a drawing up and applying plans, and lastly measuring the outcomes or products. Therefore, in regard to this approach, curriculum is essentially a set of documents for implementation. So under this approach, views on curriculum theory as expressed by Bobbitt and Ralph W. Tyler were based on 4 fundamental questions. These questions were: what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? What education experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes? How can these education experiences be effectively organized? How can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? And also Hilda Tawa, under this approach, followed a procedure for curriculum development, which proceeds along the following sequence. So the steps involved in these procedures were: diagnosis of need first, second, formulation of objectives, third, selection of content, fourth, organization of content, fifth, selection of learning experiences, sixth, organization of learning experiences, and lastly, determination of what to evaluate and of the ways and means of doing it. Now moving on to the third point, which is curriculum as process. From such a viewpoint, curriculum is not a physical thing, a process of the interaction of, and instead it is a process of the interaction of teachers, students, and knowledge, and an active process of classroom interaction. Let us look into a definition given by Lawrence Stenhouse. Though Stenhouse did not exactly say that curriculum as a process, but what he said was, a curriculum is an attempt to communicate the essential principles and features of an educational proposal in such a form that it is open to critical scrutiny and capable of effective translation into practice. In other words, curriculum should provide a basis for planning a course, studying it empirically, considering the grounds of its justification. Also, Stenhouse suggested that curriculum is like a recipe in cookery. Now let us look into the last approach, which is curriculum as praxis. Curriculum as praxis is a process by which a theory, lesson, or skill is enacted, embodied, or realized. It may also refer to the act of engaging, applying, exercising, realizing, or practicing ideas. Therefore, praxis can be viewed as a progression of cognitive and physical actions in the following ways: taking the action, considering the impacts of the action, analyzing the results of the action by reflecting upon it, altering and revising conceptions, and planning following reflection. Implement these plans in further actions, or implementing these plans in further actions. Here we come to the end of this presentation. So we can conclude that since secondary education occupies a very important place in the whole scheme of school education, curriculum must be designed keeping in view the needs and characteristics of adolescent boys and girls. Also, practical and work experience, games, sports, music, drama, painting, vocational guidance, spiritual, moral, and all other kinds of education will help to build their personality and career along the right direction. This curriculum transaction at the secondary level places great importance. So here we come to the end of this presentation. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. Take care.